Hello, my friends. LaRuffa here with another rule speed through. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at Evenfall. I'm going to show you how to play this from a solo standpoint. I'm going to show you the full game and as far as playing it. And then hopefully this will get you back to the table if you have been a while from the game or help you just solidify the rules that you just read. So let's get started. Okay, folks, and as usual, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. If you have, I really do appreciate that support. Thank you very much. So I've got this set up basically near the end of the game, and I'm doing it just so that I can kind of display everything. Don't worry about the points of what's out there or anything or try to count them because it won't make sense. I just kind of put this together. So this game is played in 3 rounds, and in each round you are going to do a scout phase, an action phase, a battle phase, and an end phase. All right, and the scout phase is really simple. You are going to basically gain the rewards that are going to be on the top of your player board here. In this case, it says draw 6 cards, get 3 knowledge and 2 mana. So basically what I would do is I would draw the 6 cards. Okay, so I've got 5 over here. There's the 6. I would draw 6 of them. There's no hand limit. I just have 6 in my hand. All right. Then I get the 3 knowledge. 1, 2, 3. And then I'd have the 2 mana. And there's some 2 mana right there. Okay. Then the AI does nothing for the scout phase. So they don't take any actions whatsoever in the scout phase. So then you can move on to the action phase. And in the action phase, you can take these different actions. Okay. So you could always discover a place of power, which I'll show you that first. Activate your clan token to basically harvest some resources. And play a card from your hand as a specialist, a council member, or a ritual. Use an action space or build catalysts in any number, okay, by turning in the leaves to the sickles and 2 potions to this orb, which allows you to advance on the coven track over there. And the sickles double your harvest for the card you put it on. And at any time in the game, you can always discard 2 cards to gain 1 resource of your choice, which is either the knowledge, the herbs, or the potions. Okay, now that's what you do in the action phase. You have 2 types of workers in this game. You have your normal witches. These are the standard workers. They can be placed in any worker placement spot at all. And then you have these elder workers. These guys can only be placed on the inner circle act-in spaces over here. There may be some small cards that let you do other things, but basically that's the story. These things are only going to be useful once you've moved a played ritual card that's on a place of power from your outer circle to your inner circle. Okay? Now, what are we doing? How do we play cards, etc.? Well, let's take a look at the cards just so we can explain what you see on them. All right, so these are going to be cards from the main deck. In this spot over here, this is the cost to play the card. This is how much it's worth. And in this case, if you want to play this card for its specialist power, you'd pay these on your turn as an action. And then you could set this right here, and that would give you this permanent ability in this case, allowing you to spend knowledge as if it was any of those types of things for the rest of the game. However, if you wanted to play it as like a council, then you could play it down here. In your first one, you spend 1 of each thing. If your second, you spend 2 of each. And for the remainder, no matter how many other cards you play, you have to spend 2 of each. And you just tuck it under your board over there, and that will give you this benefit, okay? And most, if not all, those benefits are either end game or some ongoing ability, okay? And then sometimes these specialists are these kinds of cards where you can, basically tap them or exhaust them to do whatever it says, okay? There's other types of cards here that are the ritual cards. And in order to play these, you pay this cost up here, and then you put it on one of your free spaces of power. And what are spaces of power? What are places of power? Well, I don't have any here. Let me just deal one off the top. But they're what you get over here. This is a place of power over here. And if I had one over here or here, I could play that action card I was just talking about by putting it over there and basically linking it to this card, allowing me to use it. All right. Now, if I want to use it with elders, I have to find a way to transfer it down. The most common way to transfer a card down is with this action icon over here. And that is the arrow that goes down. As you can see here, right there, that allows you to transfer a place of power to your inner circle, okay? And you get those either by playing a guy on this spot over here or by going up the coven track or some other kinds of things. There's probably some cards in there that do it as well. There's lots of little ways that you can try to do it. The other main way is to put an or I'm sorry, that's how you get up the Coven track. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. Okay, so bringing them from here to here, why would I do that? Well, in order for them to score points, they have to be in this area. However, in order for me to be able to use them with my harvest action up here, or I need to have them up here. They have to be in the outer circle. So that's another action you could do. You could take this action right here, and you basically get what's shown on the token in resources, and you also get all the resources shown over here. And if you have any sickles on any of these cards, if they have slots like artifact slots like this, you would get the reward of the power card twice. So these help you double up. All right, so that's how that works. And this is a once and only once in the round action. Once you do it, you flip it over. You can't do it again until the next round. So strategically choosing when you want to harvest these is important. Now, how do I get more of those sites of power? Well, I would take my witch tokens and I would put them over here or over here. And if I wanted a card that has a single token, it costs 1. But if I need to get a card that has 2, like this, I have to put 2 of them in there. All right, so let's say I did that. I would take this, and these always need to be played outer first. You can't play it inner. You have to play it outer first, okay? So that is how you get more of those. You can also spend your workers at any time to take any action that has an activation site. Like this one over here would allow you to turn 2 resources in and get 3 resources and a point, okay? And there's other ones down here. That's what you could use these, but you know you're not going to want to. You're going to want to use your elders to activate those. Some of them even can be activated twice if they have 2 guys shown. You can do it for 2 turns, okay? The other thing you could do with the power sites, like I told you, besides just getting more cards out here, is you could place it here to discard 1 card for any 3 resources, or to get 3 new cards, or to do a you could migrate one of your cards from the top to the outer to the inner and draw 2 cards. And so those are the actions that you can do with your workers. Then the final action that you could do is you can convert resources, like I said before, to building those catalysts and play those. You can do that for any number of resources that you want, okay? And anytime you can always discard 2 cards to make 1 resource of your choice. So that's pretty simple, all right? Now, how does the AI take the turns? Well, they're even simpler. You You deal off the top card from the deck and you look at the victory point number, in this case 1. You will then move his track token 1 on the space and do what it says. So there's a variety of things that it can say. It can say Coven track. If it does that, you move it up, you do whatever's on the Coven track. If it says play the top card, you draw the top card, you play it depending on what it is. If it's a ritual, you put it on one of these. You try to prioritize these sites of power that have the binding bonuses. The binding bonuses mean if you play, if you play another card on here, then you can do whatever it says. So in this one, I play it on here, it automatically moves down, okay? So he's going to try to put it on those. So that's how you play a top card from here. If it's a specialist, it goes here. They don't ever use the council members on the bottom. They never do that. But the specialists, they never use the special abilities. They just get the points at the end, okay? And then they also never make any of these tokens or do anything like that. So it's very simple. They're literally playing cards here for points, playing cards here, and moving them down, and that's it. That's it. The other thing they will do is they will try to get cards from the northern lakes or the central mountains. They're going to take the card from left to right. They're going to spend their workers just like you would. But if it happens that they only have, let's say they've done this, and then they come here and they want to take this last one, comes up. If they only have 1 left and this costs 2, they still will take it and use it, okay? They never go in these spaces over here. And when they gain these power tokens, like I'll tell you in a bit, it doesn't matter if they match their places of power. They will automatically just put them on the highest scoring points at the end. Okay, so those are all the action spaces, and that's how you work with the Automa. The rules are very self-explanatory. They're written right there to help you remember. It never gets any resources, cards, points, mana, it always just turns those in 1-to-1 for did I say points? I'm sorry. Resources. It turns those in from 1-to-1. So if I was going to get 2 potions, it would just get 2 points instead. If he was going to get 2 herbs, he would just turn in those 2 herbs to get 2 points, 2 cards, etc. So it's always, it says that right there in number 2. And if for whatever reason it can never can't execute what it says, it just moves to the next one. Also, it will stop at this gold one here and do this no matter what. And it'll stop at this gold one here and do this no matter what. And depending on the difficulty level you're playing, this X will tell you how many points it gets every time it crosses here. And that's the main difficulty way you ratchet it up. There are 5 difficulty levels in this game, and you basically get 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 points, depending on how hard you want to make the opponent. Okay, so now after you've done, once you decide you're finished, as soon as you pass on your turn, they pass right away, and then you move on to the battle phase. Now, what does the battle phase look like? I'm going to move the camera in a little bit so we can see what's going on. You are going to execute a battle phase for both of the sites, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to try to battle it out for these. And the way you determine the power is the power is equal for you, the number of workers you have on this board, plus however many mana you want to spend from that mana pool. That's your power level. And depending on the amount you spend, let's say I spend 7, I would get this reward for 6 or more and this reward for 4 or more. They will get a total based on the number of workers they have on that card, plus the current round number, plus they will draw 1 card for every worker they have and sum up the points. So if they have a lot of workers on the cards, it's really difficult to beat them. And then they get the rewards just like you do. And most of them will turn in, anytime they would get a card, that'd be points, but it will do whatever it can if it isn't point value related, or, if it says move on the Coven track, it'll do that. If it says migrate a card, it'll do that. Then whoever gets the most, whoever wins, if it's a tie, you get it, but if whoever wins, you take your choice of these power tokens that are available. And the way what these do is at the end of the game, you can play them on your inner your inner circle, and for the AI, it just plays it on there, and that will double the points that is shown right here. For you, it has to match these teeny tiny little icons over here. See those icons right up there? It has to match one of those, and if it does, you can then play it on there and then multiply that by 2, and that's what they're there. They basically double the points of the cards there. You will do a battle phase for both of the lands, so you'll do one for the top and the bottom one, and then when you're done, you will then go into the end phase. And in the end phase, you basically do any end round effects if you have them on your cards. You replenish the regions, meaning you draw 3 out for each of these. You will then bring back all of your specialists, your witches and your elders, You'll flip your clan token to your active side. The clan token is this token over here that allowed you to harvest. And then you will ready all the cards you may have affected, and then you're going to advance the round to the next round. At the very end of the game, you are going to score points. Again, you do that 3 times, right? Because there's 3 rounds. Very end of the game, you discard all cards and leftover resources. So you don't do anything with those. You place those power tokens, and then you get victory points based on what specialists you've played, on the cards that are in your inner circle, and you double those points based on if you have a power token, then you would double those. Okay. Sometimes these sanctums, they just have points anyway. They do not get doubled by the power token. They just are what they are if they're on there. And then that's it. And then you may get any other points. If there's end game, like for instance, there's an end game condition, you score those as well. Whoever has the most points is the winner. The AI scores exactly like you do. So there's nothing to, there's no special scoring in that regard or anything like that. So it's a really pretty easy, straightforward game to play. There's nothing about it that is very foreign for those who played card games like this. And yeah, pretty simple. So thanks so much for watching the rules. If I missed anything, please let me know. But either way, I hope this was helpful, helps you get back to the game. And if you've played it before, refreshes your memory so you can play it quickly again. So, all right, everybody, thank you so much. And as I always say, whatever you do in the future, I really hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy now.